Every founder chases it, every investor demands it. It's that legendary milestone that separates the startups that absolutely take off from the ones that just fizzle out. We're talking about product market fit. So let's dive in and figure out what this thing actually is, and more importantly, how you know when you've found it. When you really get down to it, the entire journey to find product market fit, well, it all boils down to this one simple question. Are you constantly fighting tooth and nail for every single new customer, or does it feel like the customers are starting to find you? You see, the difference isn't just a number on a spreadsheet, it's a feeling. And trust me, you can feel this difference in your bones. When you're pushing, it's just a grind. Every single day feels like you're rolling a giant boulder uphill. But then when you hit that tipping point and the market starts pulling, oh man, suddenly there's momentum. It feels like the wind is finally at your back and things just start to click. It almost feels like magic. And that feeling, it translates directly into your business results. Pushing means your growth is slow, it's expensive, it's forced. You are paying for every single set of eyeballs. But a market pull, that creates the kind of organic word-of-mouth growth that's fast, it's efficient, and frankly, it's the holy grail for any startup. So, let's be super clear here. Product market fit, or PMF, as we'll probably call it from here on out, it's not just another Silicon Valley buzzword. It is the critical turning point where your company goes from just searching for a business model to actually becoming a scalable enterprise. And here is probably the most important point of all. It is not just some subjective gut feeling you have as a founder. No, it's an observable, even measurable phenomenon. It's that exact moment the market itself grabs hold of your product and starts doing all the heavy lifting for you. All right, so if we're all on a quest for this legendary treasure, we're going to need a map, right? So let's get a crystal clear, no-nonsense definition of what product market fit actually is. And here it is. See, it's not just about having a cool product. It's about having a product that solves a valuable problem for a specific group of people. And the most important word on this slide is behavior. They don't just say they like it, their actions show it. They use it, they pay for it, they feel like they can't live without it. The venture capitalist Mark Andreessen gave us probably the most famous definition out there. And what's so powerful about this is just how simple it is. You need two things: a good market, and that just means real existing customer demand, and a product that actually delivers on its promise. I mean, you could have the best product in the entire world, but if the market just isn't there, you are going nowhere fast. This PMF pyramid is a great way to visualize it. It shows that the process isn't about jumping straight to building features. You have to earn your way up from the bottom. It all starts with the market opportunity. Then, you narrow in on a target customer. And from there, you define your value prop and the core job to be done. Basically, what problem are people truly hiring your product to solve for them? Only then, once that foundation is rock solid, do you move on to things like prioritizing features and crafting the final user experience. Okay, so let's also clear up some common misconceptions about what PMF is not. It's not just making a lot of noise with slick marketing. It's not just having big revenue numbers, especially if they come from a few huge contracts. It's not a massive, unengaged user base. And it is definitely not just a product that's packed to the gills with features. It is all about deep, sustained user behavior that proves your product is indispensable. So how do you actually read the signs? I mean, how do you know if you're getting closer to that treasure? Well, let's look at the clues, the omens, that tell you you're on the right path. First off, the numbers don't lie. High retention is the #1 sign. Are people coming back day after day without you having to poke and prod them? When new users sign up, are they getting it quickly? And this is the big one. Is the total value a customer brings in over their lifetime, the LTV, significantly greater than what it costs you to acquire them, the CAC? If the answer is yes, you have a sustainable business. You have a pull, not just an expensive push. But hey, it's not all about the spreadsheets. The qualitative signs, the human signs, are just as powerful. Are users sending you these passionate, unprompted emails out of the blue just to say they love what you've built? Are they creating their own communities, their own Slack channels or Facebook groups around your product? And my personal favorite, do they get genuinely angry when your service goes down for even a few minutes? That's a fantastic sign. It means they can't function without you. Slack is a perfect case study for this shift. Before they found their PMF, it was a really hard sell. But once they hit that sweet spot, the whole dynamic just flipped on its head. It wasn't Slack's sales team pushing their way into companies anymore. It was the teams inside those companies demanding Slack and pulling it in from the bottom up. That is the market pull in action. And Airbnb found its product market fit not just by being a cheaper alternative to a hotel room. No, they tapped into a much deeper emotional need, the desire for a unique, local experience. The moment people started talking about the feeling of staying in an Airbnb, that's when their word-of-mouth engine just exploded. They weren't just selling a room anymore. They were selling an adventure. Okay, so we've looked at the quantitative signs, the qualitative signs. But is there like a single test, a moment of truth you can use to diagnose exactly where you stand? Well, yeah, there absolutely is. It's called the Sean Ellis test, and it is deceptively simple. All you have to do is ask your core users one single question. How would you feel if you could no longer use this product? And the potential answers are pretty straightforward. Very disappointed, somewhat disappointed, or not disappointed. And this is the magic number you're looking for, 40%. But what does that actually mean? It's simple, really. If at least 40% of your users answer that they would be very disappointed if they couldn't use your product anymore, you have a very strong signal that you've achieved product market fit. This is the clearest leading indicator that your product has become essential to a core group of people. If you're below that number, well, you've still got some work to do. And that brings us to the journey itself. Because, as we've said, product market fit isn't something you just stumble upon by sheer luck. No, it is earned. It's earned through hard work and relentless iteration. This right here, this is the engine that gets you there. You identify a real burning customer pain point. You build the smallest possible thing, a prototype, to solve it. You get it in front of real users. And then, and this is the most important part, you listen. You truly learn from their feedback, you iterate, and then you repeat this loop again and again as fast as you possibly can. Okay, so let's say you've done it. You put in the work, you earned it, you passed the 40% test, and the market is officially pulling your product forward. First of all, congratulations. But finding the treasure is just the beginning of a whole new adventure. The game doesn't end, it just changes. Be honest with yourself as you go through this checklist. If you can't confidently check off every single one of these boxes, you know exactly where you need to focus your efforts. And once you can, your job shifts. It goes from searching for fit to scaling that fit wisely. This is when you transition from learning and discovery to optimizing and growing. You build a repeatable sales process, you double down on what works, and you avoid getting distracted by shiny new objects. And really, that's the ultimate takeaway from all of this. Your opinions, your gut feelings, your perfectly crafted business plan, at the end of the day, they don't matter nearly as much as the market's actual behavior. The market is the ultimate source of truth. So the real secret to finding product market fit, it isn't about being a genius who can predict the future. It's about being the best listener in the room.